Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name's Erica, and today I'm going to be doing a forced proximity book recommendation video. I love a forced proximity trope. It's one of my favorites. You get some really good tension between the two characters. Sometimes there's a really good bed sharing trope, especially if they don't like each other at first and then it's forced proximity. That's the best. So yeah. My first book for this recommendation video is The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I just read this one recently, and this is boyfriend's brother. So our heroine has a shitty boyfriend. He's like a musician, she's an actress, and he's just not the best. So she goes on vacation with her boyfriend's family. They go to Hawaii. So his brother's there that she's never gotten along with. He's a doctor, and his parents. And the boyfriend is supposed to be there, but ends up not being able to make it right away to the vacation because he gets put in jail. So she's stuck in Hawaii with his brother that she doesn't really like and his parents. She ends up starting this challenge almost with Josh, which is the brother. And she gets up to run in the morning, and he's like, "You're not running alone. That's dangerous." So he goes for a run with her, and they're racing each other, and they're always trying to outdo one another. And yeah, so then there's a scene where they go on a hike together, and they end up having to share a tent, and things get, spicy. So yeah, it's really good. It's forced proximity because they're on vacation together, and then the hike scene's even more forced proximity. It's cold, they need body heat. It's good. The second half of the book is not forced proximity, only the first half, but I really enjoyed this one. It was a 4-star read for me, and yeah. The next book on my list kind of follows the same idea, and that's the On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. So this is about a best man and a maid of honor in a wedding, and they do not get along at all. They never have. Everyone at this wedding gets food poisoning. So the bride convinces them to go on their honeymoon together because she doesn't want it to be wasted. She want it. They have to pretend that they're married. So they go to, it might be Hawaii. It's somewhere tropical. But anyways, they go there to this all-inclusive resort. They have to pretend they're married and that they're, the couple that they're supposed to be. They have to share a hotel room, and they have to pretend they're married. So it's also fake dating, but marriage. And yeah, they definitely start off hating each other, but over time, of course, they grow on each other. They're stuck in a hotel room for, I think, 2 weeks together. This is a popular one, and for good reason. I really enjoyed this one. The next book on my list is Twisted Games by Anna Huang. This is a bodyguard romance, which is what makes it forced proximity, because Bridget, our main female character, is an actual princess. So obviously she needs a bodyguard, and she had this bodyguard for a really long time that she really loved, but he has to leave for family life, and she ends up getting this new bodyguard, Reese, and they don't really get along. She thinks he takes his job way too seriously. It annoys her. They really just aren't getting along, but they have to spend so much time together because he's her bodyguard. So it turns into their romance, and you watch as they grow together and start to like each other, but then they get split apart a couple of times, and you have to watch them come back together. And when they come back together, it's not forced. So I thought that was a nice touch. And also there's a really good bucket list aspect in this that I really liked too. So this is a good one if you like bodyguard romances and forced proximity. This is about Lucy and Connor, and Lucy just got broken up with. She had been with this guy for 3 years. He moved out, and she's in need of a roommate, and her brother's friend moves to, I think they live in New York. He moves to New York. He's a doctor. Is that right? I don't know. Her brother's friend moves to New York, and he needs a place to stay conveniently, and Lucy needs a roommate. So Connor moves in, and Connor also recently got broken up with. So they're both kind of working through this breakup in very different ways. Obviously, it's forced proximity because they're living together, but they're both going through this breakup in different ways, and they strike up a bet with each other that they will try the other person's method to get over this breakup, and whoever wins the bet, whoever gets over the breakup first, wins, and they'll pay 6 months of the other person's rent. So I think it's really fun. This one's like low angst, low drama, like it's kind of rom-com-y, like it's just low stakes, but I really found it fun and I enjoyed it a lot. The next book on my list is, I think it's Raph, or it might be Raffy. I always say Raph, so I'm just going to call it that, but Raph, the Buff Male Nanny by Rebecca Witherspoon. This is about a male nanny who goes to work for this single mom that has 2 twin girls. And so he's living in the house while he's nannying them. He's like this buff, badass, biker looking guy, but with the kids, he is so, so sweet. And so he's living in their house, so it's forced proximity, and they form a romance together. And just watching him with the twins was like the best part of this book, especially since he's like a biker. And the smut in this is actually really, really good too. And yeah, this is a really good forced proximity one. I read it a long, long time ago, so I don't remember all of the details, but it's definitely a good one. Next, I have Paper Princess by Erin Watt, which is a pen name for Elle Kennedy. And this is an older book, but it's about a girl who her mom's just like not a stable adult, and so they're like moving all around, trying to make ends meet. She drops out of high school. Her mom's like terminally ill, she finds out. So she can't make any money. So her main girl, she's like a senior in she would be a senior in high school, I think. She's like 17. So she's illegally like stripping, trying to make money to get, you know, her mom what she needs. And yeah. So her mom unfortunately passes away. That's not a spoiler. It happens like right in the beginning of the book. And I think it's her godfather, like her dad's, someone connected to her dad. They're not related, blood related though. But anyways, so this, I think it's her godfather, comes and finds her and takes her to his house to live with him and his 5 sons that hate her guts. I don't want to spoil who the romance is with this in this book because I didn't know going in, and I think it's kind of spoilery. So yeah, but she has a romance with one of them, and for a long time in the book I like wasn't sure which one was going to be the one she had a romance with, but they all live together, they drive to school together, they go to school together, so it's very, very forced proximity. They're constantly with each other. This book is definitely like new adult, and the characters act kind of juvenile, so that's something that bothers you. I don't think you would like this book, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was angsty and really good. The last book on my list is one I just finished reading, and that's The Outpost by Devney Perry. So this one follows our heroine Serena. She is a journalist, and she like goes undercover and starts dating this guy that's connected with the Russian mafia, and they have like an illegal gun operation going on, and she hates that, and she's trying to take them down basically. So she goes undercover for like years and pretends to date this guy to take them down, but he finds out about it and attacks her. So she gets away and she goes to Montana where her best friend lives, and she meets this hot mountain man type guy who's like a search and rescuer, and he's very outdoorsy. He takes her to this outpost. It's like this tiny cabin. She has no internet, no cell service, nothing. She can't have any of that because she can't be tracked down by them. They're like out trying to find her actively. So she has to hide out in this little cabin, and he stays with her most of the time. So it's forced proximity. This cabin's like tiny, only one cot, like tiny. It's very forced proximity. And they end up having to share, well, they don't have to, but they do share a bed at some point. She has really bad nightmares from what had happened to her. And yeah, this was a really good one. I felt like their connection was really organic and very believable. And I really, really enjoyed it, mixed with a little tiny bit of like suspense of, you obviously know these people are going to find her at some point. So like, when is that going to happen? What's going to happen? And yeah, his name is Bo. He's very protective of her, and I loved that. So it's a really good forced proximity one. Thank you so much. That's all I have for these today. Let me know your favorite forced proximity books, because I love that trope so much. It goes along with a lot of other good tropes, like I said in the beginning. So yeah, that's all for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.